Where's Jason?
Jason?
Jason! Where were you?
I didn't know if you were lost. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. What are you people?
It's us.
I think what fueled me with this project was, the confidence that comes with realizing if you make a movie for yourself, first and foremost, that other people will connect as well. There's something about channeling your own humanity as an individual that allows you to really tell a human story. So that was, that was the thing that allowed me to, get past any of the pressure of the sophomore effort, was just kind of returning to this notion that if I make my favorite movie that doesn't exist, people will get it.
I was struck by how different and yet compelling Us was from Get Out. The subject matter is totally different. And I would say, in a sense, it adheres more loyally to the horror genre, with the monsters being the tethered, the red versions of ourselves that come for us. And so I was struck by that. And then in conversation with Jordan, who was revealed to me the layers beyond that, I realized, yes, it's very much made of the same stuff in terms of it being a reflection of deeper societal commentary. You know how sometimes things line up?
Yeah.
Like coincidences. Since we've been here, they've been happening more and more. I feel like it means like she's getting closer.
Who? The Mirror Girl? I definitely was gonna do this movie no matter what. I knew that this played into my artist mission, to tell stories about people who don't often get seen or heard, to make us challenge our perceptions of ourselves, to challenge our perceived definitions of things in our society. That's what I've articulated for myself with the work that I do. So, this movie plays into that. The social message emerges as a factor, as opposed to being the starting point for, I want to make a movie about race, or I want to make a movie about, our shadow selves, what we suppress in ourselves. It starts with, ooh, wouldn't that be scary if you saw yourself? I've been referencing the Twilight Zone mirror image. That's this great doppelganger story. But the idea of an other that not only exists, but has that sort of knowing smile and knows more than I do, has always been scary on a primal level.
Because I was playing the two characters at the center of the narrative, I had to very deeply understand what he was going for. And my first research point was his brain, right? And really talking to him over and over for long periods of time throughout the process to really be sure that I understood his vision, that I understood the layers of the things he was trying to say. And there were times when we saw things differently, and we probably still do.
There's something about a family of four standing there on the driveway, and when you call to them, they don't respond. That sends shivers up your spine because at the same time, nothing has happened yet, and so much has happened. What we don't know is the most terrifying thing in horror.
Okay, let's call the cops.
I did. They're 14 minutes away.
What? 14 minutes? Okay. Jason, give me the bat.
What bat?
The baseball bat, the bat. There's one in the corner.
Here.
Thank you.
Gabe.
All right, hold on. I got this. Let's try this again.
Gabe.
No. All right.
I got this.
He's not your stoic Western male lead that doesn't share and isn't articulate. He's overly articulate. He's overly emotional. He can be funny, goofy, serious, a threat all in one. He can be totally aloof, but still see through the veil and see the bigger picture, the largest picture. So he's able to do so many things, and that's not the typical view, you know? He's not, you know, traversing the world and blowing stuff up, you know what I mean?
For Adelaide Wilson, she had a background in dance, and so the ballet aspect was very important, and I took ballet classes to figure out how a dancer would you know, navigate the world. And then for Red, Jordan described her as queen and cockroach. And that was very, very helpful because there is a stillness and a menace to a queen. Of course, they reign over everyone else. But then the cockroach also has a stillness and a surprising movement. You know, they can be completely still and then scurry in a direction that is surprising. And of course, the voice for Red. In the script, it said she hadn't used her voice for a long time, and I was inspired by spasmodic dysphonia, which is a condition that is brought about by physical or emotional trauma where the vocal cords involuntarily spasm, creating this kind of irregular pattern of air.
Be careful.
Lupita as Red was, you know, certainly the performance in this movie that, you know, you knew when you first saw her that we were in sort of uncharted territory. Digging into that character's motivation was probably the darkest depths that we had to spelunk.
I got out of it unscathed because one character was the therapy for the other, you know, because I was playing two diametrically opposing characters. And so because I couldn't rest in one side of the story. I always had to see the other side just as passionately and advocate just as much. So by the end of the filming, I was good.
I can happily say you would beat yourself up and then go home and sleep and come back energized because it felt on mission. You know, the kind of work, the level of attention that Jordan Brang and the rest of the crew in every single way, they brought so much to everything. So you knew that you were in there. So I always just had so much energy the next day.
Now, I thought I already done told y'all to get off my property, okay? So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Now, the cops are already on their way. Hey, 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 hey!
We were all very fully aware that this story would mean one thing in the first viewing and probably something else in the second, much like Get Out. So it was a question of creating an experience that would be multi-dimensional, you know, and have a number of meanings depending on how many times you've seen it.
My favorite horror films are the ones that center you and in the beginning and you know, make you understand and relate to the characters. You know, if you're seeing through their eyes, if you love them, then you will be afraid when it's time to be afraid.
We kill them.
You know, when I sit in an audience and you know, reveal something subtle, not a jump scare, but an image, and the audience goes, oh. That's like the most satisfying thing you could ever, that could ever happen. It gives me just a great satisfaction to see people kind of facing their fears together. That's my favorite.